Hello everyone! This is a very big one, just like my Christmas one from last year. However, this time I ended up buying from a lot in different brands. So there's more for each brand instead of just like everything everywhere. And honestly, it'll be a lot easier for me to edit and shorter instead of having like giant scrapbook hauls that are like 25 to 30 minutes long, which even for me, that's a long time to edit something. So we're gonna split it up into different videos. So today's video is going to be BoBunny's newest Christmas line. The line of this year is called Joyful Christmas. And if you hear my mom in the background, it's because she's literally right there and she didn't want to leave. So yeah, that's gonna be a thing today too. But she will not be on camera because she doesn't like being on camera because mom's stubborn, I don't know. Anyway, so, okay, shall we commence? So we're gonna start with some of the embellishments that I bought. They do have more embellishments in this Christmas line. However, I don't have that much money and I'd rather not go completely broke from scrapbooking stuff. So the first one is these more cardstock type of chipboard paper stickers. Just a lot of like, they look like little frames, as you can see on my B-roll clip. So there's 6 of them and they cost me a whopping $8. So like I said, you need to make sure you're on a budget when you go scrapbooking, because if you don't have a budget, you're gonna go broke very fast. So this next one is probably my favorite one because you can really do a lot more with just like completely flat pieces. Because even though these layered chipboard ones, I like how 3D they already are, you can't use them if you want to use them for literally anything else but scrapbooking. So at least for these, if I wanted to, I could put them in my bullet journal as well as scrapbooks. Because if you want to make it like 3D-ish, you have to get like this special tape that lifts it up. So this packet has 52, and on the back it shows all of them specifically. So you're not just looking at this packet and being like, hey, what the frick is in here? This one is definitely going to be a very good choice to buy if you are on a budget. This one cost me $9, but there's 52 things, so that could be used for so many cards, especially with how big they are. So yeah, I think it's definitely a good idea to get this one. Last one from this line, it's the brads. I never know why they're called brads. I don't know what that means. But basically, each thing has a little pin that you could just stick in the paper and then like flatten it out on the back. There's 21 of them, but most of them are these small little jewels. So they're a bit easier to use than trying to glue like the tiniest little buttons with fabric tack, because that can get quite messy. So if you have nice nails, maybe don't scrapbook it if you have your nails completely falling apart like mine. But with these, if you do put them on paper, make sure that you're planning it out before you start putting it on, because if you try to poke it through when things are already glued, it's gonna turn really messy. I learned that lesson the hard way. So now we're going on to the paper. So I didn't get every single piece of paper in this line, but I got the majority of it. If you do like all the papers from a line, I'd suggest getting, usually they come in like this giant packet of doubles the paper. I think there's at least like 3 or 4 of each type of paper, but I think I only did that really with Prima's last year. This time I only bought like 75% of it. So this first one has a bit of a marbling, bright, true Christmas red, and a very small edge of it is just a really dark green border with, I think it's trying to be mistletoe, but I can't really tell if I'm being brutally honest. I'm gonna assume that's what it is. And on the edges, on the top 2 corners here, there are a little bit of faded words. Something doesn't mind the snow, something will start, something that will make them sing, I think. Yeah, they're very faded, so I think it's just to add some extra little oomph to it. But I got this page specifically because how bright this red is, a really good layering page, so it's not going to be like the star of the show, but it's kind of like if you want a basic but something slightly more elevated than just like a basic cardstock, which also I got that too, but I'll show that at the end of this one. On the opposite side is a very candy cane looking one. In the middle of it, between each like bigger stripe of red or green, it looks like there's a pattern of a rope on top of it. And in the top corner here and in the bottom corner, just a little bit of red roses with some more of the very faded cursive white font. I'll probably be using these corners with the roses in the corners of the card and just like completely tearing this whole sheet apart. So I only got one of this sheet because each side I like, but I don't like it enough to know that I'm going to use it more than once. So you gotta always think about that when you're buying those two. This one has, I don't know, Mom, what would you describe this as?
From back here, it looks like diamonds.
It's like almost that kind of font that you would see in like a haunted house, which is kind of weird to say for a Christmas paper.
Oh, it looks like a fancy light fixture, those old-fashioned
Yeah.
chandeliers.
Yeah. So it has that kind of a thing, but because it's black on red paper, it just looks a little more Halloween-y for some reason, but I don't know. So that's another reason why I only got one sheet of this. And realistically, probably should have gotten two just because I like the backside a lot more. So that's this one. Very pretty. This one's like the star of the show kind of paper. A lot of white points, well actually not just white poinsettias, a lot of white and cream poinsettias, and a lot of different dark red roses, and I think those are carnations. They don't quite look like roses. It's like they're trying to do mini wreaths, but you know, it looks kind of like a wreath. So yeah, I really like this one. The dark green looks great with this. Next page, the plaids. So lumberjacky, but I love it. I will probably, it'll go great with any classic Christmas paper, even if I'm not using just BoBunny, just because of how basic it is.
That plaid is extremely popular this year.
It really is everywhere. So I'm glad I got this sheet. But again, I probably should have grabbed more than one because I know I'm going to use this more often. But again, I was trying to stay on a budget. You'll see in future hauls that was not successful at all. So the back side, a bunch of little dots, more of a basic page just to use for layering and whatnot. Very, very tiny dots, a bunch of red and dark green, and almost kind of burgundy. Nice basic page, so still required for these kind of cards. And there's still a little bit of the faded cursive, except this time it's not in white or black, it's in like this creamish color, so it kind of blends in more with this background. The next one is another plaid, basically the same pattern, but the dark green instead. They look really, really pretty together, as you can see. So I'll probably put them on like the same card. But yeah, nothing really else to say about that. There's only so much you can say about each paper. Opposite side is birch pattern with some more faded words on the side. That's, I don't know. Last time I did a haul like this and they had faded words on any of the papers, they were like saying Christmas carols. But this time it doesn't really do that. It says pine cones, popcorn, red striped something, the brightest something.
Red striped candy canes?
It doesn't say candy cane, it just stops. It's I think it's just for aesthetics, but they could have used something that sounds like a sentence, I don't know. That's just me being picky. And I think it's trying to say it's beginning to look like Christmas, but they cut off after 2. But it has a little bit of a pine cone and, what do you call those? Pines? Just pines?
Pine boughs.
Pine boughs, okay, apparently that's what they're called. So yeah, again, should have gotten more than one sheet of this, but by the time I got to BoBunny in the store, I was well past my budget, so I had to restrict myself. So, second last one. I guess I'll show you this side first because you're already seeing it. A bunch of circles with some snowflakes in random spots. It looks like it's mostly in the red ones, but there are a few with white that have different colors like green and gold and black, and with some bells with some more pines around them. So I kind of like this page, but honestly, I got this page mostly for the other side. But if I wanted to do like a rip tear type of design, then at least like it's still poking out something and not just like plain white. So that's why I really like these double-sided pages. You can do more with them when you're doing mixed media style especially. So on the opposite side, when you look really, really close to it, it's that chandelier type of design that we looked at one of the first pages, except it's a slightly lighter green than the dark background. It shows up slightly, and I like how minimal that is because then it's not like really distracting. I kind of wish they did that with the red one, but yeah, what can you do? You're not the designer of this, so that's just me being nitpicky. But it has some roses there, some more words like before, and I really like the design here at the end where it looks like the present got wrapped with a bunch of red roses too, and a poinsettia at the back, I think it is. So yeah, I really like that. I like that little corner, so I'm definitely gonna cut that out and use that at the bottom of the card. So last page from this BoBunny line. It is more poinsettias, and this one I prefer over the other poinsettia one just because I like that there's no spaces in between each design. It just looks like a crap ton of flowers are just like scattered all over it, and I really like that look. So, want to mention anything for this page?
It's much prettier from back here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer this page too. This will be another one of those pages where it's probably closer to the front of the card, just underneath and like plainer embellishments, so that the focus is this paper and doesn't get too distracted. Otherwise, I feel like that could look really loud really quickly. Yeah, so that's really all I have to say for this one. Flip to the other side. Bunch of different musical notes. These are always good to have. I was starting to run out of my musical notes page from like 4 years ago, I think, that I bought them. They work really great for layering pages, because if you try to use this for like a main front page, it just looks too busy. So it's a great layering one. Oh, right, there's in this little corner. There's a little bit of a corner of a cream poinsettia, but other than that, it's pretty much just musical notes. So yeah, with that ends a very short BoBunny haul. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll leave all the links down below for this line, including a little section if you're curious about what the other papers look like to this line. And yeah, I really like this one, and I don't know what else I can say, but the next scrapbook haul for Christmas will be next week on Scrappy Wednesday, so I will see you guys then. And one more plug for myself. If you'd like to see the Christmas cards that I will be making this year, you can follow my Instagram here. And I also make bullet journaling weekly spreads on there as well, so it's not just a one-trick pony on there. So yeah, I will see you guys next week, and I have no actual outro for this channel, only on my other one, so bye-bye!
What's this? There's color everywhere. What's this? There's white things in the air. What's this? I can't believe my eyes. I must be dreaming. Wake up, Jack. This isn't fair. What's this?